Hello, beautiful people! Do you enjoy exploring the undead city of where you and Death are chummy chum chums? Have you tried fighting Racial and he just whooped your bum? Sent you home whining and crying for mum? Have you AFK'd for hours at her mod until your brain cells were numb? Well, that's cool and all, but would you like to see where soul devourers come from? The city of has some secrets yet for us to unearth. If you have thick, juicy damage, you know, DPS with some girth, let me take you on a trip through the brand new Sanctum of Rebirth. Just sit back, relax, and you can decide if it's worth. Alright guys, there are a few things that you're gonna want to know before we jump on in. In order to get her done, you're gonna need to do the soul searching quest to access the dungeon. It's fast and takes about 5 minutes. If you don't have 5 minutes in you, maybe you need to start doing some more cardio. You can have up to 4 friends join in on the fun, but it's a little spicy with more people. Deaths in normal mode are safe. You can die up to 3 times in each boss fight before you get kicked out of the club. At least you don't have to pay rent at Death's office when you're bossing here. That's right, that means you can take your hardcore iron meme. When you die, you get a debuff called Res Sickness for 10 seconds, which reduces the damage that you do. That means no big booty damage for 10 seconds, just pancake booty damage. And finally, you do have to complete normal mode 1 time to unlock hard mode. Alright, now let's talk about what I brought to the fight. You can use any style here, but I will say that melee is a little disadvantaged because of the constant moving. Just pretty much any basic necromancy preset is probably going to work out just fine for normal mode. Or magic or range, you could probably grab any that you already have made and jump right in. It's honestly more about the mechanics and not so much about what you bring with you. That said, you cannot poison the boss, so don't worry about bringing any of that fancy stuff. I used a Nihil because I noticed that my accuracy was low, but you can bring anything that you want. Ripper Demons, Calgarians, Reavers, Pack Mammoths, heck, why not throw it back to a Steel Titan? Just do what feels right for you. I mean, there's not much to say. You're a legend and you know what you need to succeed. Like I always say, just bring what you see here or better and you're going to be A-okay. Alright guys, let's just get right into it. The first boss is the Devourer Noodle that hits with range. After starting the fight, very soon a message is going to appear talking about a Moonstone Shard and then a blue box is going to spawn underneath of you. If you don't move, you're going to tank a very thick hit and be stunned. Just move, get out the way. We're going to DPS until we reach the first threshold on the HP bar and then head to the west side of the room. Ignore the other noodles that spawn on the sides. If you kill them, they're just gonna respawn. The only one that we need to focus on is the one in the middle. You're going to see a message about channeling power to the west, and then you'll see arrows on the ground indicating a spot on the floor. We're not going to be avoiding it. You need to go stand on that spot. In order to progress in the fight, you need to capture souls. It'll tell you how many, and the number scales with group size. It's 6 when you're solo. You capture the souls by standing in the arrow. If you stand in the middle of the arrows 3 times, you'll be ready to DPS the main noodle down again. If you miss your spot completely or stand on the outside of the arrows, you're going to need to do it again to get more souls. Then we're going to hit the boss until we get to the next threshold on the HP bar. Avoid the Moonstone Shards and then go get your souls on the east side of the room. We're going to do the same exact thing that we did on the west side. Here you can see the Moonstone Shard message. The blue box appears, I move out of the way, the shards spawn, and I just keep DPSing. The shards are solid and can block you, so if you want to, you can kill them. Usually your death skulls will make quick work of them while you're attacking the boss. And here you can see me heading to the arrows. They appear very quickly, one after the other, so you have a little bit of time to react and figure out where you're going. And then just make sure you stand far away from that big blue box. Okay, at this point, we just need to deal some big booty damage to the main noodle in the center of the room to end the fight. Now you'll see a scarab spawning that will heal the boss if it touches it. You need to stun it before you can deal damage to it. Big booty strat is to ignore it and just keep DPSing. You get all the normal stuff, and there is one more fun mechanic added to this phase. Text is going to appear saying the noodle boy is charging a bomb. You can use resonance to avoid the big blast, but in theory your DPS is thicker than a Snickers and you'll not even have to worry about it. Or you can do what I do there, just tank it and move on with your life. As long as your HP remains high, you are good to go. Alright, that's the noodle boy. Let's go to the next one. Okay guys, so the second boss looks like an angry devourer dinosaur to me, so that's what I'm calling it. We are going to pray magic for this fight. Jump down to the arena and walk towards the boss to get the action started. So the very first attack is going to be him saying something like "to hearken," and some blue boxes are going to appear on the ground with thin spaces between them. If you see any blue on the floor in this fight, you do not want to stand in it, it's going to hurt you. Then the boss is going to do an animation and a blue bar is going to appear over your head. It's really fast and easy to miss. You can see it right here. You can anticipate so you don't get stunned, but either way you're getting trapped in jail. Freedom and break the jail box by clicking on one of the walls. After that, calmly walk out or surge like your life depends on it. If you stay in the blue box, you're going to get bombed, and if you get bombed, you're going to lose a life. Good thing we've got 9 of them. I mean 3. We are not a cat. You can use a VIP pod and eat after you freed him, or use resonance to survive the bomb as well. If you see the boss saying something weird, that means a blue box is coming and you need to avoid it. Once you hit the first threshold on the HP bar, you need to go kill an obelisk. It does not matter which one you kill first, just make sure you kill it. You'll see a blue bar on the screen showing how long you have to kill it. If you have pancake booty DPS and don't kill it in time, a blue wave surges across the floor and knocks you out faster than you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. But I know that your DPS is thick, so you don't even have to worry about it. Oh, and as you can see here, scarabs spawn. Stun them to make them go away. When the boss says pain, you get blue boxes in a line moving towards you. There are more lines in group, 2 in a group of up to 3 and 3 in a group of 4. When the boss says Kia, like you see here, more blue boxes appear on the ground with a safe spot in the middle and outside. When he says Gra, blue box appears in the middle of the room. He does say something else that I didn't get in any of the kills that I recorded, but basically if you don't see what he says, just don't stand in the blue, get the heck out of Dodge. Oh, and I should mention you have to do 7,000 damage to break out of a prison. Just finger it and it'll go away. Finger of death. When you get to the second threshold on the HP bar, the screen goes white and you get a message about the obelisk, and that means you know what time it is. It's obelisk clobbering time. Head over to whichever obelisk you have left and do what you do best. Hit things. In the game, of course. Once the obelisk is dead, you're going to attack the boss and kill it before it kills you. So here you see when he says Kia, I go into the middle of the room, and then when he says Gra, I go outside. Here you can see the animation the boss does when the blue bar appears. He's auto-attacking, and here comes the animation now. I'm going to freedom, break a wall, and then surge away quickly because it took a little too long and the bomb was getting close to me. If you break a wall in the prison and you don't move, you will still get hit by the bomb. Now we're just avoiding blue boxes and happily DPSing. If you get the timing down and make up a good plan for your prison break, this boss will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that's it really, we get the boss to 30k and Deathmark is going to take care of the rest. It's time to go to the third and final boss. Okay, before we get in there, I just want to say there is a lot going on in this boss fight, but most of it is movement. This Devourer lady hits with magic and range. Magic is blue balls and range is blue shards. Who would have guessed blue balls are bad? She's always going to start the fight with magic, I've noticed. First things first, when she says prepare for death, you need to use resonance. She throws a bomb at you, but with resonance it heals you. In this fight, we get the same blue lines that move towards us, but this time they're bigger and badder. Okay, she's about to say prepare for death. Make sure not to resonance until you see her say this, or it's going to run out before you get hit. The screen turns green and the bomb happens. Boom. If you look to the left and right of the room, you're going to see symbols floating in the air. What's really cool is if you get used to them, you can tell the pattern of the static blue boxes that will appear by looking at the symbols. It's abstract, but it'll make more sense as you get kills under your belt. This does not work for the blue lines that move towards you. Another cool feature is your dive ability resets when you use it to avoid the static blue boxes so you can dive out of the way over and over again. But be aware it doesn't reset when you avoid these lines here that you see that move towards you. Right now we're just DPSing until we get to the second threshold on the HP bar. If you found yourself trying to kill this boss and suddenly got smacked by a bunch of damage seemingly out of nowhere, I can guarantee you that it was a scarab. In only a matter of seconds, you're going to see a scarab spawn in the back of the room by the stairs. Here it is now. Oh, real quick, you can see here the symbol is a horse, and in an abstract way, the blue tiles that appear will look like a horse. Just use your imagination. This is an exploding scarab. If you don't stun it and get rid of it before the blue bar fills up above its head, it's going to explode and make you cry. Here you can see another time where she says prepare for death. We're going to resonance, the screen turns green, we get hit, it heals us, we're happy. Okay, at the second threshold on the HP bar, dogs are going to spawn and you have to kill them. These are some hot dogs, and by hot, I mean hot trash. They hit you with melee, you have to stand close to them to damage them, the boss keeps healing them, and they keep turning your prayer off. As you can see, as if that weren't all bad enough, you also need to keep avoiding the blue on the floor. It's a lot all at once, but no match for an absolute legend like you. Feel free to pray melee because the boss won't hit you with auto attacks while the dogs are out. It is also worth mentioning, just so you feel better, that you only have to deal with the dogs once during the fight. This is not going to repeat. Okay, now that the dogs are gone, a tiny little doggo is going to come out of the ground and drag us to the Shadow Sands. There's a purple ball we need to click which spawns dogs that we need to kill. After we kill the dogs, 3 souls are going to appear. Click them to go back down to the real world. When she says you cannot stop me enough, blue boxes are going to spawn. They start close to the boss and move to the outside of the arena. Start far away, then surge close, then go far away and do the same thing to avoid the damage. Or face tank it like the damage-eating legend you are. Okay, we need to talk about the Shadow Sands. While you're in the Shadow Sands, you need to pay attention to the symbols that you see by the big scary nightmare fuel head. There's going to be 2 and they are different for everyone in the group. When you get back down to the fight, there's going to be 3 symbols on the ground. You need to stand on top of the symbol that you did not see in the Shadow Sands. The boss charges up a big bomb, and if you're standing on the correct symbol, you won't get hit. If you get it wrong, you can most likely say goodbye to a life. Okay, now that we know what we're doing, let's take a look at it again. She's going to say face her and drag us back up to the Shadow Sands. When you get up, take a look at those symbols. Here I have squiggles and an eyeball, or that's what it looks like to me. So after I click the souls and get back down to the real world, I'm going to go run and stand on the symbol of the dog playing with a ball to avoid the bomb. Stay on your symbol until the bomb goes off and then you're ready to keep DPSing. Then she's going to do the boxes again that start by her and go far away. So I'm going to start out far away, then I'm going to surge into her, and then I just decide to face tank it because I have lag and I couldn't move. In normal mode, you are able to eat through these waves, so if you're like me and you've never been tick perfect a day in your life, don't sweat it too much. That's what sailfish are for. I should mention that in group mode, everything scales. More dogs, more scarabs, and in the Shadow Sands, there's a purple ball for each person in the room that spawns dogs and souls for everyone to click on. You'll always have a flashing arrow on the ones that are yours. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Watching this guide gives you a 214% RNG boost in the Sanctum of Rebirth, so go out there and farm your tier 95 magic weapons. Like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, be kind to one another. See you next time, friends!